I'm Matthew JC, founder of Operation Rock the Troops.
I'm Stephen Jackal, the motivator, Vice President of Operations for Operation Rock the Troops, and you're listening and watching Patriot Rock Radio.
Now, Patriot Rock Radio was created simply because Operation Rock the Troops has three core pillars that give back to our military. 1, live entertainment. 2, music lessons to our military members, both active, veterans, and their families. 3, we award an annual music grant to a military member who uses music to enhance their community. But live entertainment is more than just our band, the JC All-Stars, performing all over the world for our U.S. troops. I mean, we've completed in 14 years 7 world tours to 15 countries, over 40 military bases, and over 1,000 shows. But live entertainment also means that we give back through our documentary series featuring other charities. We put on live events of all kinds to keep things fresh and get those veterans off their couch. We create videos and plan events for other military charities. And now, a radio show that's a TV show.
I have already fought, but upon returning home, this is my fight now. This is why I'm called the motivator, because I still fight for my brothers and sisters, and there is still work that needs to be done, and there is still hope and healing that needs to happen.
So what does Patriot Rock Radio mean to us? It means that we love to talk about all things patriotic, and we love to rock. Our show features current veteran topics, world topics, and military charities leading the charge in the hard transition home so many veterans are facing, and of course, bands and live performances.
We appreciate you. We look to dig deep into the issue and talk about topics that bring understanding, as well as finding solutions that bring healing to those that truly deserve it. So thanks for watching, listening, and being a part of Patriot Rock Radio.
Patriot Rock Radio exists today because Purple Heart veteran Michael Roberts, who gives back to our veterans in many unique ways, wanted to do something that could reach more eyes and ears. His company, Combat Cannabis, is really changing the way veterans find a way to get back into the workplace. Also, his avid work in brain health and helping veterans find ways to face their TBI PTSD is amazing.
With this support, we were able to launch Patriot Rock Radio to reality. And of course, we had to make him our first guest on the show. Since he lives in Oregon, we had to call in.
Our first veteran guest is Michael Roberts of Combat Cannabis.
Yes.
Who has an amazing story of how he became an entrepreneur and started multiple businesses with the goal of taking the profits to help other veterans become free and independent of the system. Michael, you on there?
I'm here, my brothers.
Welcome to the show, and thank you, by the way, for obviously also being our amazing sponsor. But, let's just jump to it. Michael, tell us your story.
Yeah, I went into the Army right after 9/11 happened. I wanted to do my part. I wasn't really going anywhere in life, and I figured, if I can make it through this type of thing, then I would be fine, and I would have all the life skills necessary to be able to succeed. So I went through it, and I was an OF2, and I got hit by a suicide bomber at the gate. It was about 5 months in. Dude just came up and rocked me right there, and then that was it, and I was done. It's like the first time in my life I actually felt human. It was a really humbling experience for me. The fact that everyone banded together to take care of me, and then of course, fight back the injustice that was going on over there. It was really eye-opening to me. So I knew at that point in my life that whatever I did, it's going to be veteran-centric. Right? Once I had the choice, then I got out of the military and I got into sales, and I started doing well, and I worked my way up, and we started a company with my best friends, and we got fastest growing business in Oregon. We were 372 on the Inc. 500 fastest growing list. We were just super blessed and fortunate, and things really took off. At that point, I started getting into being the commander of the military of the Purple Heart in Portland, and just trying to help vets and do the best that I could. But the problem is with these organizations is that they don't have any money. And really no one has money. And for us as vets, having to continually hold up signs and beg for it, I just wasn't into that. And to be frank, I'm kind of tired of it, and I think we all are too. We can speak to that. Is that for what we did in our sacrifice, we shouldn't have to continually sacrifice our well-being and our livelihood just to try and attract funds. So I'm thinking, well, okay, I went to the brain treatment center. It was amazing. I got my life back together. It was instrumental in me keeping my stuff together. And having gone through that, I see that like a lot of my buddies that I went over to Iraq with, they don't have access to that, and they're not doing well.
That's true.
And I feel guilty in a way to be so fortunate to be doing well. So that chip on my shoulder, which is wild, is because like I'm working every day, doing everything I can, trying to start all these different businesses to fund brain treatment. However, I got to do it. However, anyway. So I was thinking, well, what better way to give them an actual job rather than just treatment? Let's not just go with one part. Let's go all immersive. Let's get them all in there, do what we can. Well, the most profitable thing out there right now is cannabis. I'm like, wow. I'm from Oregon. It's been a part of our lives for a while there, helping form legislation and stuff like that. So I was thinking, well, why not have veterans farms that have veterans on them, dispensaries that have veterans in them? The whole veteran network, oil processing, this whole thing, to where people would want to come to these locations and come and be a part of this, because the end result is that we're going to get free brain treatment to veterans that need it. And then once you do that, you go through the brain treatment, you can get back on with your life. You have like a true calibration, like a true north, right? So if you go through this thing and you feel yourself start to slip, that it's somewhat of your own doing, which we're that way. We don't hurt anybody. We're not there but we're hurting ourselves.
I just wanted to say thank you, Jackal. What do you want to say?
I love you, man.
Thank you, Michael.
Jackal, you're the man. I love you guys so much. I mean, really, this is the start, and I just need everyone who's listening to this, share it, let them know it's out there, send it to every vet, just let them know you got another brother out there that's pretty heavy hitter, that's very fortunate, and this is all I'm all about.
What made it special to have veteran Ben Adams as a guest was to talk more about how the music video that he was featured in leads to something that I still to this day think was an amazing connection between a son and a father. And now we captured that in our behind-the-scenes footage of making the music video for Light It Up. Our guest right now, veteran Ben Adams. He's a close friend for many years. We grew closer over this last year as we asked him to be the feature role in the music video Light It Up. So Ben, thanks first off for being here. But
absolutely,
go ahead, tell everybody. I know you're a veteran, but go ahead, give us a little brief history of where you served and all the glorious stuff. Patriotic.
Just a real brief history. I was in Iraq, OIF, and same place my brother over here was at. A lot of us have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And my role was the gun truck commander in the infantry to go up and down old MSR Tampa. All my brothers know where that's at.
Yeah, I hate that
from
place.
Basra to Baghdad.
Yeah.
So I was able to join up with these guys and do something that matters afterwards, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
When I called you up and I asked you to be on the music video, and I kind of told you the storyboard, what was your first impression?
Well, I mean, at first, I of course, I had my apprehensions, but I was also, stoked about it, the idea. So I had to kind of go through that in my head. Can I go through this? Can I do this? How is it going to affect me? The reality of this, how it's hit home for me, how this really has happened in my life. How is that going to hit me? Will I be able to really kind of walk through it, and or will it help me? Will it be a kind of a healing benefit? And those were my thoughts going into it, and thankfully it turned out to be the latter. I mean, it was very healing.
Right.
And
well, you know what some of the listeners may or may not know is that when we shot this music video, we decided to cast only veterans. And
that's true.
What you're basically saying matches up with the fact that when we shot this music video, we wanted to make it as real as possible.
Yeah.
And that to me is, I guess, what you're kind of saying is like, hey, do I really want to be a part of something that, because I mean, we blatantly used, and Jekyll, you know this, we used live ammunition. We were really blowing things up. Nothing was CGI in this video.
Kaboom.
kaboom. We had all real live gear. Everything was real from head to toe.
I know. I nearly melted the barrel off my M4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the first one starting to rack, and then you guys were like, "Wow, yeah, those live rounds, yeah, I like that."
What I thought was cool though was the fact that a lot of us, we go into the service and we go overseas. We don't really want our family with us.
Yeah.
We don't want them to see what we do. We don't want them to know what we do. I told my mom I did paperwork. I wasn't gonna tell her I did explosives because you know how your mothers are.
Surprise.
Yeah. So what I thought was cool is the fact that your dad and your brother got to come out and kind of see some of what kind of somewhat of an insight.
Yeah, that was a really cool experience for me. My dad's my hero, man. Dad raised 3 boys on his own for a long time, and was always there. Has always been there, and I have been a black sheep and a misfit and a mess up, and he's always been there. And it was cool to get to see him, for him to see me do something that I was good at and proud of doing. And he was proud of me anyway. He didn't have to see it, but I tell you, it was really cool for him to see us all together as brothers, and for him to understand that, wow, these guys really are a team and brothers and just great people.